Hello, this is Lisa Hazard and Misty Lore with the podcast You're All Psychic. And we have a real fun podcast, I hope. And you know who's back? Jennifer Love. And you know what she's talking about? Love, Jennifer.
Love.
You think we're all psychic still?
Of course I do. Yes. Of course, we're talking about my favorite thing too, so I'm so excited.
Love. Yes.
We are too.
I follow Jennifer Love on Instagram, and she's a love specialist. And I've been really curious. I asked her back, and she's going to tell us what her idea of love is. What is it for everybody? What soulmates, twin flames? If you've listened to the podcast, we had a very not so good podcast about this subject, and now Jennifer's going to set us straight. So, Jennifer, what is romantic love for you personally?
So, I mean, my understanding of love and romantic love, and just to back up a little bit, I am particularly interested in this subject myself because it's an area that I've struggled with personally a lot. You know, I'm a single woman in my 40s. I had an 11-year marriage and I got divorced and then, got thrown back into the dating arena, after 40, which is not fun.
That's not
right?
fun. No, I can't imagine.
It's not fun.
And I'm sure a lot of people that listen to your podcast can relate to that, whether you're in your 20s and 30s or 40s or 50s, because ending a relationship's always hard no matter what stage of life you're in. But this is just an area that I've really struggled with personally. So I've, really worked on myself. I've had numerous dating coaches. I've read 30, 40 books about the subject of dating, the psychology of love. And then of course I've had my own like metaphysical studies, right, with angels and all this stuff. So I'm very interested in this topic, and to say that I like to think I know a lot about it. But from what I've, experienced and learned is that it really is cliche, but you really do have to love yourself first before you can love anybody else.
And
the reason for that is because you have to love someone without attachment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And attachment is about fear and dependency. And then, there's 4 different attachment styles, in psychology. There's, a secure attachment style, an anxious attachment style, an avoidant attachment style, and a disorganized attachment. So, the healthy one, right, is secure. If you're securely attached to your mother growing up, and this is kind of demonstrated by some scientific study where, you could see it in young kids when, a kid is playing with their toys, and if the mother gets up and leaves the room, is the kid going to freak out and run and chase their mother? Or are they going to continue playing with their toys knowing that their mother's going to come back?
Okay, that makes sense.
And so that's how you can kind of see that dynamic play out. And so an insecurely attached child is going to scream and run a freak out, run after their mom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain stage, and I can't remember how old the kid is, where they realize their mother's going to come back. And so they don't freak out. But then there's all kids at all stages are going to freak out at a certain month of age. They're not going to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid is not going to be okay with that. But then at a certain stage of development, the kid should be okay with their mother leaving the room. They get secure, right?
Right.
They have that idea of permanence that, oh, my mom's going to leave and come back. I think it's 7 months. I don't quote me, but so loving someone without attachment is, you want this non-clinginess form of romantic love where you can be in a partnership with someone, but you're not attached to them. You have, a healthy relationship where both people are whole and complete on their own, and they fill each other up. The thing I can't stand is that Jerry Maguire type of you complete me thing,
Yeah.
because we do not complete each other. The purest form of love is it's not about someone else filling you up, because you're already full on your own, and you're actually giving love to someone else to enhance both your lives. So that's kind of my idea of love, is about giving, because you're already full.
I love
Yeah.
that so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, that's really
Yeah, that
beautiful.
makes so much sense that you have to love yourself first. I've always said that, and I always get the eye roll. But
I
It is.
roll. That's because they don't love themselves.
well, and not only that, but like, if you don't love yourself, you can't depend on somebody to do anything for you. You have
Yeah.
to be dependent on yourself first.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I think of it as, but you put it in a much better way.
Well, yeah, and you can get, extreme about it too. And you see this
Yeah.
with people that have trauma, that are extremely independent and they're avoidant. And
Right.
so, it's a lot with single moms, because when you have had to do everything all by yourself for a very long time, you're just extremely independent. And so you don't need anyone to love you. You're doing everything by yourself. And
Yeah.
so you're extremely independent and avoidant.
Hey, I know
And
somebody like that
I
right
do
now.
too. I do
I know
too.
somebody. Yeah.
so
And
that's
it's
kind of
sad.
it is, yeah. And so you don't let anybody in. Your heart is closed at that point.
And that
And
makes so
so,
much sense because she goes through them like flies. And I'm like, you're
yeah,
never going to find the right one,
yeah. So, and these people make excuses like, oh, that guy, it's kind of like, oh, that guy was too short, too tall, too fat, too skinny, too this, too that.
Right. It's usually 5 or 6 months into the relationship. It's like, you're out.
Yeah, they did something wrong or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's really, this person's heart is closed for whatever traumatic reason. And I'm not bagging on people. Like,
No.
it's just that from all these love readings that I do all day long, I've just seen all these examples of different people, and I just can tell, what people have trouble experience emotions, and people have trouble letting go. So, yeah, it's just kind of
Something
what
I've
I'm saying.
I've really noticed is it for me, romantic love, I really gotta have that something. You know what I mean? Like that something spark. It's not sexual, it's not mental, it's not emotional, but it's all three and it's just something. It's like the magic. I don't know what that is. Like I just that's got to be there. That's where the spiritual stuff comes in, I guess, because I don't know what that is. That feeling of like that person, I don't know why. Like love at first sight, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is that? It's happened,
Lust. It's lust.
Well, yeah, there's
Ah.
a definite combination of things that attracts us to someone else. And I think Matthew Hussey does a really good job of what is attraction and what makes a good relationship. So I follow Matthew Hussey on Instagram, and I think he's a great dating and relationship coach, but he has like a four-pronged model to like dating and relationships. But there's, attraction, which is that lust factor. There's chemistry, which is like, when you kiss someone and it feels good, right? There's connection, which is that, you're actually talking to somebody and you have that kind of mutual, I don't know,
That's what I go for. That.
something,
That's
right?
schwadoinkle. That's
Yeah, like there's something between you. And then the fourth is compatibility. Like, are you both morning or night people? Can you really see yourself like having a relationship with this person? Like, does one person want children and the other one doesn't? Really like daily life factors. Someone snores and then the other person can't stand it, right? The really compatibility comes down to, can you like live with this person?
Yeah.
Can you deal with their stuff?
Yeah.
And like sometimes people's stuff is very minutia, like one person's a slob and the other person is a neat freak. And then some people are like, yeah, I can deal. I can hang, you leave your socks on the floor. I don't have a big problem with it. And then other people are like, this is going to drive me insane over a lifetime and I can't deal, and some of these things are very important to some people and some of these aren't. So, but I think like that thing that you're talking about, Lisa, it could either be that chemistry thing that we're talking about, or it could be intellectual stimulation, which is really important to me.
It is. That's so true. But there's just something. Sorry, we had an interruption. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Jennifer?
No, I was saying about like I really like to be intellectually stimulated by someone because I love conversation and I love to talk. So when you're talking with someone and having that deep conversation, because like I'm a Scorpio with a Scorpio rising, I can't be with someone who can't have a deep conversation. So if whoever I'm with can't go deep into that conversation with me and talk about more than the weather, we're not going to last very long.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, isn't it funny too how some people, when you're talking about how, well, can they put up with this or can they put up with that?
Yeah.
Are they compatible? I see a lot of couples and people that think that they can put up with it. And then the longer that they're in the relationship, they're like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
Like the neat freak and the slob. Yeah, I can clean it back to you because we're in love and I don't care right now. But later down the road, you're like, get the hell out of my house. And I see a lot of. They think that they can fix the other person. I think.
Yeah,
or mold
absolutely.
them or something.
Yeah, people aren't projects.
We fixed the interruption problem. Okay. And I'm sorry about that, guys. What were you saying, Jennifer?
I have no idea.
I forgot too. Oh, crap.
No, we were talking about like trying to fix the other person or turn the other person.
Yeah. People aren't projects. You have to really accept someone 100% the minute you start dating them, which, that's a really great lesson because when I first met my ex-husband, I was going into the marriage thinking, oh yeah, I could fix that. I could work with that. I could change this, and I had a whole like laundry list of things that I was going into the marriage thinking that he was going to change about his personality. And, people should not be wanting to change someone else's personality or like traits about themselves, right? Yeah.
No, you can't.
We were young, we were young adults in our 20s, but you're pretty fully formed, I want to say, after 25. So I wouldn't think someone would change aspects of their personality after that time. And I don't know why I, just young and stupid,
That's
thinking that was going to happen.
That you bring that up, because I have a different opinion. I think people do change and I think they can change, but they only change if they want to. But
they only change if they want to. Exactly.
If people grow in different directions over a long period of time in that relationship because they change, that's going to be a big problem later. So the person you marry at 25 might not be the same person at 45.
Exactly,
because genetic things happen, life things happen. Some people don't want to work on themselves and they don't love themselves anymore because life beat them up. And are you going to sit by that person if they fall down and keep falling down and they just don't get up anymore and you're going? I mean, what there's a lot of commitment questions there. When people do change for the worse, or just differently, grow apart. So like,
I agree.
Even some love feels really eternal, but romantic love doesn't. When you're in it, it does for me. But when I'm not, it doesn't feel like it lasts.
So there's other studies about romantic love that romantic love only lasts 18 months. At the most. So
that's awful.
So really, no, but really what you're talking about is a partnership that you're expecting to be in a long-term relationship, love is a choice. So every day you're waking up and you're choosing your partner. So every day you're making a commitment to this person to love them. So love is a verb. It's not a noun. It's not like I'm in this relationship now, I'm just going to be. No, it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make every day. It's a commitment you're making to a person to be in a relationship that you're going to continually work on and grow together. So I really feel like any long-term relationship is a choice, and so is love.
I agree. But sometimes there's people I have fallen in love with that I just couldn't stop. Now, this was when I was younger, but it would be usually mental, like you said, the mental stimulation. I'd be thinking about them. I didn't have to see them. I didn't have to talk to them. I just had to think about them. I had to. So when I was older, I realized that's just kind of like a part of my brain needs to be working on that. It has to have like
Yeah.
somewhere to focus and have like an imaginary boyfriend or something. Yeah, I just have to have that role filled. So I can do that, and then my life carries on. But then when an actual person comes along, it's like, I don't know. I'm in this new space like you were just talking about, being in my 40s, and I'm not really ready for that.
Well, yeah.
Going out
You need
there.
time.
Right. And I tell a lot of my female clients that men and women are different. Women are built for connection. We're built for relationships. It's a part of area of our brain that's very developed for connection and relationships. Men are not built in the same way. Their brains are developed differently. They have different hormones that are activated in puberty and development, that they are not built the same. So relationships are not as important to them. If a man's career and money is not sorted and settled, they are not going to be in a relationship at all. It's just not a priority. It's not number one on the list. So when I am doing a reading and I see or feel that the man is having a career drama or career change or family drama or something, relationship is not a priority for him. And it's just, he's not going to think about it, and he does not care. So the woman in that scenario is either going to have to be understanding about that, wait around, or find another man because you are not going to be a priority for him in that moment at all. So we just have a different view or a different outlook on connection and relationships. Women, it's a bigger priority for us. Friendships are a big priority for women.
Very much.
Connection is big for us, and that's just because it's a part of our brain that in puberty is very developed. Because when, we were sitting around the campfire as cave women, right? Our job was to protect our children, right? The men went off to hunt, and we were protecting our children in a community setting, so it was kind of like, I have your back, Lisa, if you have my back, if the lion comes to attack us, right?
I got you. That lion.
You're gonna tell me if it's coming up behind me, right? So it doesn't attack me and my kids, So that's kind of why it was important for us to be friends, because we had each other's back. So that's why it's important, and that's why it was developed in that part of our brain. And so it's a remnant, I want to say, of our caveman days.
It takes a village.
Exactly. And it's just not as developed for men. It's not to say they don't have friendships and they don't have connection, they don't have relationships, because they do. We all do. But it's just more important for women. Our friendships are important. Connection is important. Relationships are important to us.
Well, if you think about it too, the man going out to get the meat is kind of like, in these days, the man going out to make the money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing.
It's still a huge priority for them. It's a huge priority for them.
Yeah. Because they need to take care of the family. And if they can't do that, they feel worthless.
They do. They still do. Even though women are making 50-50 these days, and usually when you're in a relationship you're still paying half the rent and
Right.
maintaining your own lifestyle and whatever, and it really doesn't matter if the man makes as much money as you do. In most cases women are making more money now, but it's still very important to them, kind of innate, that they're providing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think
agree.
about things like twin flames and soulmates? Where does that fit in? What do you
Yeah,
think about it?
so I feel like what my kind of definition is that a soulmate is someone from your soul group that you're meant to be partnered with to learn and grow from. So a soulmate relationship can have its ups and downs, but it's generally harmonious because these people are, when we were wherever we came from, everybody has different ideas where your soul comes from, but they're in our same group. So we're
Yeah.
meant to kind of be with these people. But a twin flame is the other half of your soul. So the idea is that your soul was split into two before you incarnated onto the earth. So twin flame relationships can feel very connected and highly charged upon first meeting this person, but then it can feel very triggering and combustible. So, but your twin inspires you to be your best self and knows you like no one else because really they are you. It's the exact same vibration, the exact same signature. So that is kind of my take on the difference between soulmates and
Okay.
twin
Yeah,
flame.
that's what I would think too. I just never really hear a twin flame that sounds right to me, and that sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
So that
And
makes
Hmm.
more sense.
not everybody believes in it, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But that's kind of what I
It
have
sounds
come to
crazy. It
learn.
sounds, I do
It does.
palmistry. I do palmistry, and
Okay.
there are these lines, the relationship lines. So the listeners
Mhm.
can't see me, but I'm showing them on Zoom. It's below your pinky on the outside of your hand, and you'll have on the right hand, usually is where you want to look, and it'll show like one line, usually two lines, three, sometimes a bunch. But one time I saw a woman, her line went from the edge of her hand, because usually listeners, it just goes maybe a little bit below the pinky. This one went all the way around the pinky, all the way up to the middle finger.
Wow.
She was there for a relationship reading. She
Yeah.
and it was nothing was wrong. She was just there getting a reading, and I saw that, and I was like, "Man, I've never seen that before." And that's what I think of when I think of, like, something is up. Because to me, I was like, that relationship is like, there's something going on with that to me, because that's how I validated, like, my knowledge and stuff from looking at so many palms all my life. And
Huh.
she said, "Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. We've loved each other so hard in all our lives, and we've known each other and just, blah, 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 blah." So, do you think that happens too often? I mean, do you think that's something that happens to a lot of people, that they might meet someone that's just, for me, a line across the palm? I mean,
Do I think twin flames happen often? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
I don't actually, and I don't really think it's something people should aspire to. And I don't think if someone has a twin flame that means they're more spiritually awakened or better than somebody else. Like I don't think it's like that. It's actually extremely painful, so it's not really something someone should aspire to.
yeah,
It's actually, it kind of kicks off someone on their spiritual journey, but you don't need it to have a spiritual journey.
yeah.
Anyone can have a spiritual journey. So it's not like one person is somehow better than the other. So I just think people romanticize it as a topic, or oh, I want to find my twin flame, but I don't think you really want to.
Yeah,
So
sounds nightmarish.
it's
Everything I've heard.
very, and it's very confusing. So I think I tell people, I think you want to find your soulmate. That's a relationship that can really help you learn and grow as a person. It's not so painful. And you could actually have a relationship with this person. Whereas the twin flame, you're highly unlikely to have a physical relationship with because it's so tumultuous and difficult,
Volatile, yeah.
um, that, you're highly unlikely to have like great
Give and
relationship.
take.
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah. Unless the other person decides to do a lot of spiritual work on themselves too.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Have you ever met any twin flames that were together that actually worked? Have you heard of any or?
I have heard of people, but I can't really, tell
Yeah,
are they really
yeah,
twin flame?
yeah.
I don't know
They will tell
because
you
like,
that, but yeah.
right? Like how would I know?
You'd have to be God, I guess.
Right. I
Jennifer, are
mean,
you God?
She's a love
yeah.
God.
Love goddess.
And of course, like I'm an intuitive, I'm psychic, I can read people. But I tell my clients all the time, they come to me and they say, I want you to tell me if so and so is my twin
The
flame.
one, yeah.
Yeah. And I said, I can tell you if this person is like a highly spiritual connection for you. I can tell you if this is a soulmate for you, but I can't tell you if this person is your twin flame. And if any psychic or intuitive claims that they can, they're lying to you, because only you can tell if someone is your exact same genetic
That's
vibrational
so
signature.
true. That is so
I can't
true.
tell you that. I can tell you it's very close. I can tell you it's in your soul group. Like I can feel that, but I'm not going to tell you it's the exact same soul as you. How would I know that? I'm not in your
Mhm.
Right.
body. Like
Right.
I'm not you. Like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
I
I don't know who
Right.
is, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
don't even know
So,
if I believe in the concept yet. So I'm kind of,
yeah,
no, I'm still learning
yeah,
it. But I
sure.
mean, everybody knows, everyone's heard of it all their lives, soulmate, twin flame. Um, so have you ever, personal question, have you
Yeah,
ever been in a soulmate romantic relationship?
sure.
How many?
I think we've had multiple soulmates. I think anytime it's very connected and highly charged, that's a soulmate relationship. And
Even with a
then
friend, I think it can be that way too.
sure, yeah. Um, and like I think, if you've ever done like past life regression or past life readings on yourself, I think those can be very informative as to soulmate connections as well. Um, I've had past lives with my daughter, and like
Oh.
we've had the relationship flip where she was the mother and I was the child, so it's like I think I've had multiple soulmates, because these people taught me lessons, and lessons that I really, really needed in my own spiritual development, right? And I've had, really bad relationships with men, but they've taught me very important lessons about love and relationships, which I now share with my clients. So I feel like I was meant to go through that, because
Yes. Yes.
look
You're
at where I
helping a lot of
am,
people. You're
Right.
helping a
You
and
lot
this
of
is
wouldn't
what I
feel
do.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Misty,
don't think the pain was for nothing.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it
anyone thinks
wasn't.
the pain is for nothing, find a reason for it. That's good.
Yeah.
And
I
love, I mean,
agree.
that's the best one. Misty, do you have questions? I'm sure you've got tons of questions for Jennifer. I've been
Well,
running my mouth. She said she wanted to talk, and I took her literally.
no, I've jumped into, but one thing I was thinking too, that you were just saying about, going through different relationships. It's always easier, I think, in life if you've had to break up with somebody in life, and then somebody's broken up with you in life, and that's one thing I've told
Yeah.
my girls when they were teenagers, because it's good to feel both aspects of a relationship like that to get to where you want to be in the future. And so I totally get that, and I totally believe that too. You have to go through certain things to get where you are, or even know what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I tell my clients a lot, and especially, younger women or people. I mean, I always have to say 80% of my clients are women, but it's really hard for the universe to bring you what you want when you don't know what you want.
Yes.
So when you're just saying, I want a boyfriend, I want someone in my life, I want a lover, that's what you're gonna get. You're just gonna get someone,
Right.
And
Be
do you
specific.
want, do you want a liar? Do you want a married man to come into your life? Do you
Right.
want someone who, isn't gonna treat you very great? Do you want someone who is broke? Like,
Right.
let's be more specific about what we're asking
Very.
the univerce for.
Yes.
And you don't have to be like crazy about it. We're not going to
No.
all date billionaires who, fly private jets and stuff. But like we need to ask for things like honesty and kindness and, whatever is super important to you. But like those are pretty important things, I would say, to most people.
They're the big ones.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I have to say, sex is pretty important to me.
Yeah.
So like I need someone who's really passionate, and I need someone who's really accepting of my job. It's kind of weird for a lot of people.
I
So,
know.
and it's kind of funny. My boyfriend now, he's an accountant.
That's great.
So yeah,
Wow.
but he's very accepting of what I do, and he's very open to learning about it. So yeah, it doesn't have to be, all woo-woo people are together, but that's nice too. But yeah, just someone who's very accepting of, what I do is super important to me, because
that's a big deal.
it's kind of out there for a lot of people to be an angel intuitive. I talk to people's guardian angels for a living, so you got to be down with that if you're going to be with me.
How did he react
yeah.
when you told him about that for the first time? What did he say?
He was like, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Oh,
what is that?"
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
that's really
opposites
cool.
attract, right?
I think we're very much a case of opposites attract. Very much. Very
That
much.
sounds lovely. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So can you've given so much great advice to the listeners, to me, and Misty doesn't need any advice. She's married. She has daughters. Her daughters.
We need some information on Lisa today.
No, we're done with Lisa.
No.
Well, the advice can be for me too. Advice to listeners about how to love themselves enough to where they feel like they can offer somebody something, maybe. And anything else you want to advise anyone looking for love or in a situation they're not happy, stuff like that. What can love offer them?
Yeah, I think the most important thing you can do is to feel all of your emotions. I spend a lot of time with my clients. I also teach movement classes for women, and we spend a lot of time learning to love our bodies, which most women hate their body, which is so sad to me personally. I've been on a big journey myself personally. I lost 130 pounds. I was severely overweight.
Wow.
When I got divorced, I was 230 pounds. And so I went on a very big journey of learning to love my body before I learned to love myself. So I kind of thought that loving the outer package would help me love the inside, but it just being attractive on the outside wasn't all of it, right? So that was a whole lesson in itself, was that I'm pretty now, why don't I love myself? That was a big lesson for me. But so I spend a lot of time with women helping them be in their body, which is interesting. It's not just about loving the skin you're in, it's also being present in your body. So what I mean by that is listening to your body. There's so many times that we ignore our body's cues. Like, I'm thirsty right now, and I just ignore it, right? I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to hold it because I'm busy doing something else. I'm hungry, or I'm not hungry, and I'm going to eat anyway because I feel emotional right now, so I'm just going to eat, right? So we just ignore our bodies, and we're so used to ignoring our bodies that we treat our bodies really badly. So I spend a lot of time with people just getting them to listen to their body again. Because we really
Yeah.
ignore our body's cues a lot. And so part of loving yourself is loving your body and being present in yourself. And it's hard for people. It's not an easy thing to do. And you might think it's easy and it's not, because
No.
we've actually spent a lot of time shutting down because of trauma, because of just our day-to-day lives are very, very
Stimulation.
busy. Yes,
There's a lot of
very busy.
stimulation now
Hmm.
everywhere.
Yeah. For me personally, it's really hard to let go of my phone. I'm very
Me
addicted to
too.
my phone. Yeah. And it's embarrassing, really. But I'm trying really hard to just put it down for periods of time. But I actually get anxious when I don't have it, or
Yeah.
like it's not close by, which is my own personal hang up. But yeah, anyway.
It could be
Um,
worse.
yeah, yeah. There's a
It
lot
could
of
be cocaine or,
right. There's a lot of other
heroin.
bad addictions, right? Yeah. So I would think, yeah, the best advice I can give people is to try to be in your body, try to be present. Meditation helps too. And then try to feel your emotions, which people like to turn off in myriad ways, drinking too
That's
much,
I
eating
think I
too
turned my
much.
emotions off, like, I
Um
don't know how to feel them all, yet. Kind
yeah.
of like trauma from when I was
Yes,
younger, very young.
absolutely. I wasn't allowed
Yeah.
to feel emotions as a child. Anger, not allowed to be angry. Sad, stop crying. What are you crying about? Even being too happy, like that just wasn't
Aw,
okay.
that's
As a
hard.
child, there's like, calm down. Why are you so, you know?
Aw. Mine
So
wasn't that little, but yeah,
yeah,
that would be really hard, to be
yeah,
contained like that as a child, because 'cause that'd be you'd have to shut them down, otherwise you're
right.
reacting all the time.
Well, and
Yeah.
then I think being intuitive too as a child,
Oh yeah.
you shut down because some experiences are scary, and then other experiences your parents are telling you, "What are you doing? That's strange." Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a lot of the shutdown came from that too. So yeah, I think I had a whole relearning of how to feel my own emotions at the age of 40.
Yeah.
So that was interesting too. So now
Yeah.
now I can feel the whole range of all my emotions and name them, which is amazing.
That is
Uh,
cool, yeah.
but that is part, I think, of the process of love as well. And then, for women, it's finding a partner who is able to hold space for all of the emotions that you have. And that's a process too, to be able to find someone who can um, be able to hold space for emotion, because
Yeah.
a lot of people are uncomfortable with emotion, and it can be difficult. So
That makes a lot
Yeah,
of sense. When
yeah,
you had
it
first started
does.
with that, and I was like, "Ooh, that's where my bullet is," like letting my feeling them all, and I'm letting myself, because
yeah,
I had a lot of mental illness issues when I was younger, so a lot of
hmm,
that all my
yeah,
thinking was
yeah.
distorted. So,
And women are
yeah.
sometimes not allowed to be angry, right? You're
Yeah.
you're labeled as difficult, you're labeled as
A bitch.
Bitchy.
bitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Karen,
Yeah.
so, there's acceptable ways to, vent anger, right? You could punch a pillow, you can um go for a run, you can do physical activity, there's
Physical
ways to.
activity helps a lot of things,
It
anxiety,
does. It does help me
stretching your
too. Yeah.
calves and just be like,
Mhm.
"Oh." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there's not great ways of expressing anger, right? Like screaming at your kids. That's a no-no. Like you want
Yeah.
healthy ways of expressing emotions, and if you need healthy ways of expressing emotions, you always like Google healthy ways of venting anger, right? Like
Yeah.
figure out healthy ways of expressing all these emotions that you find difficult, because we don't all know everything. We don't have to know everything about everything either.
That's why we
No.
have a podcast about finding out about everything,
Sure. Yeah.
especially love. Thank you so much.
Especially.
You really taught me a lot, of re-educating too, because I had forgotten a lot about what it's all about, what it's for, and like how to work it. And you've helped me out in that way. So, thank you very much. And I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you can get your advice from psychics and empaths. You can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And Jennifer, would you like to tell the listeners anywhere they can find you?
Absolutely. My website is jenniferlove.me. And then on Instagram, it's also jenniferlove.me. And I'm totally there all the time for you.
On her phone. And she's on
That's
Everclear too.
awesome.
You're on Everclear, aren't you?
I am on Everclear
Yes.
too. I'm Jennifer L.
All right. There you go. And I think I still have your information from the last podcast, and I'll put it in the description. You guys go
Hey.
find her. She's got some great content too. And I've loved your
Yes.
stuff on Instagram. And listeners, thank you as always for listening. And have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.